Welcome back to Let's Play ILLBLEED. Last time we began the next chapter, Killer Man, and the plotline so far is that Eriko has found a dead body of an ILLBLEED staff member, and she tried to report the crime, but she was mistaken to be a part-time employee, and as such she was sent back to pick up a keycard. Throughout these prop rooms, where many of the traps in ILLBLEED have been stored, and many of these traps we've seen before. A lot of them are older traps. Why there are active traps in the prop room, I don't know. You'd think they would have deactivated them first. The three characters we've met so far are our current suspects. So far, to reiterate, there's Jason, one of the rank-and-file workers of ILLBLEED, Cunningham, who is the manager of this section of ILLBLEED, and Jorg, who is a reporter. And look who it is again. It's Mary. But we're just going to run away because she's not seeing us for some reason. She's just standing there in the corner, so let's get out of here. Yes, the third person is Jorg, who is a reporter doing a story on ILLBLEED. I wouldn't have thought that Michael Reynolds would have wanted... Right. I wouldn't have thought Michael Reynolds would have wanted... Okay, again. I wouldn't have thought Michael Reynolds would have wanted much media exposure for ILLBLEED, but... Oh wait, look who it is. It's Dummy Man. We haven't seen him in a little while, so he's taking another swing at us. He was a threat back in the Home Run of Death, but not so much here because Eriko is pumped up so much. The weapon she's using, the axe, isn't quite as good as the bat, but it's okay because Dummy Man's strikes don't really do a whole lot to Eriko anymore. Eriko's stamina, I believe, is even higher than Randy's now, because she's been pumped up so much. But anyway, the plotline so far, an ILLBLEED employee has been murdered, and a star was put on his face, which is the mark of Killer Man, as we saw in the introduction, because he is called Killer Man because he leaves a star on his victims' faces. And if you notice there, Dummy Man had a delayed reaction. He was running about and just fell over dead. I don't think I've ever actually seen that before. I don't actually think I've seen an enemy take a hit, get back up, and then fall over again. So that was kind of funny to me, but the, let's just see this part. Right, so again, a lot of traps that we've already seen. And here we're going to Prop Room 2, which is a bit larger and has an area off to the side where we can pick up a couple of items. So we're just going to go there first, as it is worth it to do so. But anyway, as we know, Killer Man is called Killer Man because he leaves a star in the faces of his victims. And again, oh, okay, these guys. We have not seen these enemies yet. They're eggs. They roll around and jump at us. These guys, their first appearance is actually supposed to be in the next level. But since we're going through the prop room, we happen to come across these guys before we're supposed to meet them. They're pretty tough, actually, with a melee weapon. In the next level, we're going to have a gun, and they're much easier with that. But this time, they're pretty tough. And actually, a weird thing happens when I fight them this time. I think it's a glitch, but you'll see it in a second. But just to reiterate, a staff member of ILLBLEED has been killed. We have 3 suspects, and we're trying to work out the mystery of who killed this staff member just as soon as we get the ID card. And that's 1 egg down. And now, as you may notice as I continue this fight, I'm going to be hitting this egg a lot of times. And it's not going to die. I hit it over and over and over, and it does not die. And I'm pretty sure that there's no way an enemy could take as many hits as this, as I'm going to be giving it. So I think that there's some kind of glitch here, that somehow the egg just can't die from being attacked with a melee weapon. I don't know if that's because later on, when we fight them, we have a gun, and there's just some sort of glitch when you're fighting them hand-to-hand, or with a hand-to-hand weapon. but for whatever reason this one does not die. I end up having to escape. But anyway, as far as the overarching mystery goes, we have 3 suspects and we have to try to work out who is the killer man. As we'll see later on, we're going to get a section where we have to choose who we think is the killer. And if we choose right, we get $1 million prize in addition to the prize money to this level. In addition to the 3 suspects we now have, we're also going to get 2 other suspects when it asks us to make our decision. But for right now, all we know of are the 3, Jorg, Cunningham, and Jason. So as we saw, well, I actually can see right now I'm hitting this egg too many times, and it should have died by now. It is not. So I'm going to have to escape on the helicopter pad. Now, as we saw in the previous cutscene, Cunningham was taking Jorg to see the monitor room, and that is where we found the dead body. So we'll see what their reactions are to the corpse once we actually get the ID card and get out of here. And as you can see, this level is pretty different from the others, as the original premise of the level. And here we go. I'm trying to get out of here. Now, as you can see, the original premise from the level, which is supposed to take place in New York, and I guess from what it sounded like, you would be part of the police force trying to investigate Killer Man. That does not happen because we are backstage and it's thought that we're an employee. So it's a fun level because we get to see what's supposed to be going on back here. It's also kind of an annoying level for a section that we're going to see later on. I mentioned before, earlier on in the LP, that we would get to see where the people who were killed in ILLBLEED are eventually laid to rest. And we're going to see that in this level. As this level contains ILLBLEED's morgue. But it is it's a pretty annoying... It's a pretty annoying place, as we'll see. It's like a big maze. And the result of the mystery is about as smart as you might expect to get from something like ILLBLEED. Now, it is true that since the protagonist talks in this level, if you choose to play this level with different characters, you're going to get different speech. The cutscenes themselves don't change much. Jorg and the other characters will still say the same things, but your actual character is going to be saying different things. And this can be interesting if you decide to play through this level with Brainless Randy. Up here you can see the UFOs from the last level, the toy section. So yeah, we have a lot of different types of traps from different levels all put together. And yeah, the money-taking traps from the last level still do take your money in this one. Mary again, but we'll just run away because I really don't feel like fighting her. Especially with Erica as hurt as she is right now. But as I was saying, each character will have their own different dialogue for this level. So if you decide to play through the level as Brainless Randy, you're going to get some pretty interesting dialogue, because you remember what he sounded like in Wood Puppets before he got his brain back. We'll be taking a look at that later on. We'll be taking a look at that later on in a bonus video, but I just wanted to do Killer Man. I wanted to do it straight first before doing a Brainless Randy run of this. Now there are a few items scattered around this area, mostly upgrade items. You saw before that I found an Amazon. There are actually 2 Amazons in this level. Not really sure why, because the previous level was harder, even though the boss of this level can be pretty tough. Won't be too tough for upgraded Eriko. But if you're doing this level with an unupgraded character, the boss can be pretty tough. We're just going to use the Amazon right here. Since we do find another one, we don't really have to be conservative with our items here.